Hello, my name is Caroline Vidmar. I was a contestant on season 47 of Survivor, and I am so thrilled to be able to welcome you to Ollie's YouTube channel. Ollie is a Survivor fan who analyzes the game and its players at such a unique level of depth, insight, and intrigue. Ollie has been diagnosed with autism, and he is excited to share with you all how that has been able to shape his life experiences, his worldview, and the way that he lives life. He is a huge sports fan, especially football, and he absolutely adores travel and is excited to share his travel vlogs with you. If any of these things sound interesting to you and you want to learn more, you are in the right place.
Hey Ali, it's Hayley from Australian Survivor. Thank you so much for giving me such a nice opportunity to talk long and deep about all the things I love about Survivor. So here we go. I'm going to try to answer your questions. Forgive me if I go a little bit off tangent. Also awesome to hear from Costa Rica. I have never been. I would love to go. It sounds like an incredible place to live. It is getting very hot here in Australia, and I'd love to go to a little tropical paradise. All right, here we go. First thing you've asked me is, could I share how Survivor taught you to handle pain and discomfort? A few thoughts there. I think that I had a pretty good base before I went into Survivor when it comes to this stuff. I research pain for a job, and so I've come in contact with a lot of people who live with chronic ongoing pain, and I've read a lot of the science about how pain works and what it means. And so that, I think, was helpful, and I could apply that to Survivor. So it's probably that direction rather than Survivor teaching me things that I got to take away. So what I knew going into Survivor is that pain is your body's best guess at how to protect you when it thinks you're in danger. And sometimes that's really reasonable. So, if you're standing on pegs like in Survivor and your body wants to tell you, hey, you're standing on a peg, if you keep doing this for 4 days, it could be bad. That's useful information to have. But pain doesn't always mean you need to stop what you're doing, if that makes sense. Like some people have chronic pain. That means they have pain that goes on and on and on and on. And they might have had an injury 2 years ago, but that's healed now. But the pain keeps going. So I don't think you always have to listen to pain as a signal to stop exactly what you're doing. I think it really depends on the context that you're in. And I think that your brain can assess your situation and make a reasonable decision about if you need to listen to that pain and stop what you're doing to stay safe, or if you are actually safe and you don't actually have to listen to that pain and stop what you're doing. Does that make sense? Because when you feel pain, you're like, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing because that must be what I'm meant to do. I just don't think that's always true. So what I knew going into Survivor was that sometimes you can be sore and in pain, but you can still be safe. And so even if it's uncomfortable, it's not panicking. Like it doesn't freak me out and make me want to stop what I'm doing. Like I can reasonably understand why it's there. I can't think it away. Like I still will feel pain, but I don't feel bad or panicked or worried about what it might mean. I feel confident that I'm still safe and I can keep doing this painful thing and that's going to be okay. So that's what I knew. I had a really big confidence and understanding of how pain works. And I think that can be a superpower. I know that people can learn more about the science of how pain works. I literally write books on it. So, if you're thinking about doing something similar to Survivor, totally worth learning about that. Regarding your focus on strategy, how can I keep being confident by knowing how to show my weaknesses daily? I'm not entirely sure if I know what you mean in what you're asking me there. How can you keep confident by knowing how to show your weaknesses daily? I think maybe my first thoughts on this is weaknesses just depends on how you frame something. I think it's really, really powerful to know who you are, how you have, what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and to just be confident in that and know how other people perceive you. Like, some people, it's a really big strength that they're really chatty and that they can have good conversations. But when they're around introverts, if they just keep talking, it's going to piss them off. So they need to know how to be a chameleon and adapt how they are around different people. I think that you can learn that by being around lots of different people. I don't think you need to hide weaknesses, but because nothing really is fully a weakness. Like, some people might think if you're shy, that's a weakness. But if you're around someone else who doesn't like to talk a lot, then it's a strength. So I think everything can be strong and weak around different people. So it's just being able to know how other people perceive you, if be able to, if you can pick up those cues on when they're needing some time away, or if you're being a bit much, or it's just a bit of a balance. I wouldn't think you would need to hide anything about who you are. I think when people go into a game like this and try to hide really big fundamental parts of their personality, it doesn't work, because you're too tired and you're too hungry and it's too long for you to hide that kind of stuff. And you shouldn't have to. I wonder if that answered your question. What's your number one technique to manage pain? I'm going to go back to what I said at the start, like, understand why you even have pain in the first place and what it means. And if you need to listen to it, as in if you need to stop what you're doing or not. And if you don't need to stop what you're doing, and it's just a feeling. In terms of how do you deal with painful feelings, anything where you can keep your nervous system calm and not overwhelmed is helpful. Slow breathing, really helpful. Don't underestimate the power of slow breathing. I just gave birth and needed that. Don't worry. It's very powerful. What you think really matters. Distraction can be incredible. Like, so many of those long endurance tasks, I would always try to play games with people who were either sitting on the bench waiting or standing next to me in the game. Like, all right, let's go through the alphabet A to Z and name a country. A, Australia. B, your turn. Like, just anything where you can keep your mind off, I'm in pain, because that's not helpful. That makes it feel more threatening to you. So everything to make it less threatening. Go read the book called Explain Pain by David Butler and Lorimer Moseley. That's a great book. How to stay focused when you're exhausted. What daily mantra keeps you resilient on Survivor? I have two experiences of this now, because I've played this game twice. The first time I played, I couldn't believe I was playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine getting a chance to play when you're such a big fan. And so that was my fire. Every day I was like, how am I still here? This is amazing. Oh, there's the host, and oh my God, he's an idol. And just everything about it was so exciting. Like, I didn't really need a daily mantra when I was exhausted, because just the excitement of being able to do it was enough. The second time was different, because I'd already done it and I'd achieved so much that then the tiredness and the hunger all felt more difficult, because it wasn't as novel and exciting. I think the main fire in my belly to get through that is just that I'm highly competitive and I will never quit. Like, I will never quit. And so you always try to do the best you can, but I didn't have as much motivation the second time, and I could feel it. Like, I remember George would stay up all night trying to talk to people and play the game, and I'm like, I'm tired. So it's hard to recreate that first time energy, or if you really have something you want to prove, if you really want to show that you're the best or you want to win or something, And that's why I don't know if I would play again because I'd really need a good reason because, you know, while I'm sitting at home right now, it sounds really exciting, but the minute you get out there, it's really, really hard. And you do need a fire in your belly to keep, not just be there, but be there and be active. So I'm not entirely sure if I have all the answers for this. I have never spoken Spanish. My husband does. What do I think of JLP's legacy and David replacing him? I'm happy with both situations. I think JLP did a fabulous job. And what a decade, 10 awesome seasons. So good. Loved meeting him and I think he was a great host. I'm also really excited for a change. Not that we needed it, but I think David will be excellent. He has a passion for the game. He has a passion for hosting. He's going to come in and work hard at doing that. He's smart. He gets it. I'm really excited to watch him as a host. And I think both things can be true. You can be just as passionate as loving JLP's job at that and open to change. I think that's completely fine. I think because we're used to seeing Jeff Probst in that one role for so long, it might feel strange to consider that changing, but I think that's completely fine. I hope that I've done a good job at trying to answer your questions. It's just an excellent game, isn't it, Survivor? And we're lucky to have now all these different versions. To be honest, I haven't watched the American one for a while, but I'll definitely watch season 50 because I want to see Mike White play again and Sari. I really hope they do an Australia vs. World 2. Would I play in it? Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? Never say never, but right now I am just very happy to talk to you about Survivor, and I hope you have an awesome Christmas. Thanks so much for reaching out, and see you later.
Anybody watching season 49 of Survivor and is supporting me and supporting my cast, suscríbete al canal de Ale. Subscribe to Ale's YouTube account because he's got some great videos there.